Good morning, everyone. It's March 14th, 20. I am Eric. So, a lot of stuff has been going on. Secondary, or I don't know, maybe attention is the virus. But while everyone's eyes are on what is going on with that, with the governments doing what they're doing, a lot of other things are going on, and we're going to hit some of these things because they are important too. And look, these are the people that you trust with your well-being, with your health and safety and all this. Lawsuit reveals government experiment that gave kids to pedophiles to see if sex abuse could help them. Hmm? And these are the people I'm going to trust to put RNA vaccines in your arm. These are the people. And I know I'm a conspiracy theorist because, I don't believe what known liars tell me, right? All right. Starting in 1969 and running through 2003. Okay, see how long that was? 1969, 2003. A sickening and bizarre sexual experiment was carried out by government officials and a pedophile scientist who deliberately placed troubled children in the care of pedophiles to see if it had positive consequences. You know, I've never heard of consequences that were positive. Usually, when there's a consequence, there's nothing positive about it. Matter of fact, I can say with certainty that the word consequence does not have anything positive attached to it. The victims found this utterly horrifying practice and have filed a lawsuit which is getting media coverage this month, exposing the grotesque details of this taxpayer funded pedophilia experiment. Taxpayer funded pedophilia experiment. You know, any continued funding of the government is to our detriment. This practice was known as the Kentler experiment, named after Helmut Kentler, an academic who argued that pedophilia could have positive consequences on children, and the unruly and feeble-minded children would benefit from adult sexual attention, according to Kentler. Again, these are the people that you trust to carry out a wide range of services, including, but not limited to, law enforcement, CPS workers, judges, senators, congressmen, presidents, vice presidents, religious officials, like the Pope and these rabbis who do what? They suck the penis of a freshly circumcised baby. These are the things you support. These are the people you support. Despite the absolutely horrific or horrid implications of putting children in the care of pedophiles, in 1969, Kettler managed to persuade West Berlin's ruling Senate that troubled youths would be glad to be put into a situation in which they would be sexually abused. And if you think this kind of thing only goes on in Germany or Saudi Arabia or Syria or any of these other places, we have quite the pedophile problem right here in good old USA. The children would be head over heels in love with their new father figures, Kettler claimed. According to The Sun, this arranged for boys to move in with 3 known West Berlin pedophiles so they could then learn to live proper. Unremarkable lives. What do you think about that? Later, he explained he believes the 3 men would do so much to help them and their boys because they had a sexual relationship with them. My computer screen is a little... I have a big TV right there, slightly above me, and my small screen here. I can't see this particular print on my small screen. It's not clear whether the West Berlin Senate voted on the experiment or agreed to it behind closed doors. Well, look, 1969, 2003, somebody agreed to it. For decades, this experiment was secretly carried out, and very little was known about it until 2015, when the details started to emerge. According to the Irish Times, it prompted Berlin state authorities to commission a youth researcher to review the files and write a report. In quotes, "The results are sobering," said Dr. Teresa Nentwig of the University of Göttingen, who led the research. In quotes, "Men who had been convicted of sexual contact with minors were appointed by the Berlin leadership as guardians. Children and young people who lived on the street before that had to pay for a warm bed, good food, and clean clothes, engaging in sexual relationships with their caregivers, Nitwig said. These are the kinds of people the world over trusts to carry out a wide variety of services. Now, there's a little more. A little more. You see, during a crisis, it gives your beloved leaders to the ability to do all manner of things that they couldn't do before. You know, such as banning firearms, forced vaccinations. Illinois' mayor may ban guns, firearm sales over coronavirus panic. It sounds like Katrina all over again. You remember that? You remember how they victimized the public even further by going to the homes of individuals who were not even flooded and robbing them of their firearms? You remember that? I do. An Illinois mayor has signed an executive order taking up wide-ranging emergency powers that she claims give her the authority to halt the sales of all firearms and ammunition. This declaration is being framed as a response to the Chinese coronavirus campaign Champaign, Illinois Mayor Deborah Frank, as she's a Jew. What a surprise. Feenan signed the declaration Friday morning. The executive order declares a state of emergency in the city and gives the mayor a wide set of powers to use during the period. You know, like sending officers around to further victimize the public. You know. I mean, let's take, you know, for the sake of argument, let's assume that the whole thing is real. There is an actual pandemic with actual people getting sick and actual people dying. And they have been, and people have been traveling back and forth freely since what? November 19th. That's when the first case was found, supposedly. supposedly. So, the Chinese government, they knew on November 17th, I believe it was 17th, it was either 17th or 19th, one of the two. I do believe it was 17th, though. They knew something was up. And what they do? Nothing. They suppressed the information from the public. This public got on flights all over the world, went all over the world, spreading out nicely. And then it takes months for other governments of the world to react, putting us in a situation that will be much like that flood. In the panicking, in the government actions, in the treatment of the people. Okay. The Declaration touches upon a wide range of commercial and civic activities as liable to the mayor's shutdown. The document uses the phrasing of giving the mayor power to order the discontinuance of selling, distributing, dispensing, or giving away of explosive or explosive agents, firearms, or ammunition of any character whatsoever. Mayor Feenan now claims the power to ban gun and ammo sales, the sale of alcohol, the opening of bars and taverns, and the sale of gasoline. The executive order also gives her the power to shut down electrical services and take possession of private property within the city. There aren't any confirmed cases of coronavirus in this city or in central Illinois altogether. It's extremely doubtful that the city of Champaign needs restrictions on gun and ammo purchases. The city manager claims the city needs wide-ranging powers to, quote, properly respond to the emergency needs of our community. Kind of hard to drag people off to die in FEMA camps or death centers if they can kill you easily. What else? Oh. The elite bugging out of their bunkers, another sign of the great freakout has begun. Study hints millions of Americans may be infected without even knowing it, yet spreading COVID-19 to others. Was COVID-19 engineered to usher in the globalist endgame? Alright. As Natural News had reported in this recent article, with the state of New York activating the National Guard and erecting a coronavirus containment zone around the small city of New Rochelle, just the first of likely many to come in the days, weeks, and months ahead should America not get this outbreak under control. The show Containment helps us to understand that any estimate of just how short or long a medical martial law lockdown might really last is sure to change, with estimates of 2 weeks sure to change to a month, then 3 months, and possibly even longer. And with COVID 19 taking very little time to go from just breaking out to endemic in the state of Washington, many have warned that this is how the globalists can complete their lockdown of America and the world with forced vaccinations, medical martial law, and tyranny ahead. And I say, not tyranny ahead, tyranny is already happening. So, we hope that this theory is wrong, as we'll explore within this ANP article, with health authorities in the state of Ohio believing perhaps 100,000 residents of the state that sucks, have the virus via community spread without even knowing it, and Ohio is just one state of 50, and now Congress being warned 150 million Americans will likely get this disease. There could already potentially be 1 million or more Americans who have already been infected, have no idea they've been infected, and are walking around spreading it to others. And it's not a disaster in the making. It's already a disaster. Not necessarily because of the virus. The new article out on Thursday over at the Daily Mail titled "Coronavirus Can Live in Patients for Up to 5 weeks After They First Fall Ill, more than twice as long as the recommended 14-day isolation period," helps to explain why this beast will spread rapidly here in America, and is likely already doing so. Researchers from China discovered that people could live with the virus in their respiratory tracts for as long as 37 days. That's 2.5 times as long as the mandatory 2-week isolation period required by most so-called health experts. A new study published in The Lancet, 191 patients from 2 hospitals in Wuhan, the epicenter, were studied. The team used electronic medical records to collect demographic data as well as laboratory data. Researchers detected the RNA of the virus, which carries the genetic information, in respiratory samples from patients for a median of 20 days after they first become ill. The shortest amount of time someone was infectious was 8 days, and the longest amount of time was 37. With that study likely helping to explain why there may be up to 100,000 cases of undiagnosed people in the state of Ohio alone this very moment, as reported in the Daily Mail, due to so-called community spread, with only 5 people officially diagnosed with coronavirus in the state. If those numbers are repeated from state to state, across America, there will be millions of Americans walking around with this virus already, completely undiagnosed and spreading it to others. Wash, rinse, and repeat. So, as I said many weeks ago, this is not going away. Whether the virus is real or not, at this moment, is irrelevant. Um, they say it's real, and they are acting accordingly. The so-called super rich now bugging out of their disaster bunkers, as the Guardian reports in this new article, hopefully giving a hint to those who think that COVID-19 is only a hoax to usher in medical tyranny here in America. That is something real that we should prepare for. We still can't overlook the possibility that this outbreak will be used by tyrants to usher in global martial law. And I agree with that. I would be expecting the UN to get involved here in short order, if they're not already involved. I mean, the WHO is part of the UN, so I guess you could say they already are. And with potentially large parts of America to be completely locked down in the days ahead, including confirmed reports of all public schools here in the state of Maryland, as well as those in Ohio and Michigan being shut down, it's long been warned that when the elite begin to bug out, it's time for those who haven't been paying attention to wake up, because time is running out, and now they are bugging out. This comes from The Guardian. Ugh. Damn, man, this shit's pissing me off. Like hundreds of thousands of people across the world, the super rich are preparing for self-isolation in the face of an escalation in the coronavirus crisis. But their plans extend far beyond stocking up on hand sanitizer and TV box sets, whatever that means. TV box sets. The world's richest people are chartering private jets to set off for holiday homes or specially prepared disaster bunkers in countries that are so far appear to have avoided the worst of this virus. Many are understood to be taking personal doctors or nurses on their flights to treat them and their families in the event that they become infected. The wealthy are also besieging doctors and private clinics in Harley Street, London, and across the world, demanding private coronavirus tests. Yeah. They're so much, more important than everybody else. They get their private tests and their private planes and their hideaways where every need they have, or want for that matter, is thoroughly met, whereas the general public will be left to starve, to fight, to die, to get sick. Now, somebody made a very keen observation in my comment section on my last video, and I'm sorry, I do not remember the name. Maybe I could quickly check it out here so that I give proper credit. They said that No, Mac Daddy commented too. Okay. Where's it at? Maybe you got deleted. It was um, a very good comment. But they said that the National Guard will be used to haul off all the dead bodies from the houses after this thing wipes out a bunch of people. Uh, Pretty good chance. Pretty good chance that's exactly what will happen. Robert Vicinio, founder and chief executive of Vivos Group, uh, a California-based construction company, underground shelters designed to withstand a range of natural disasters and catastrophes, said his firm had seen a surge in inquiries and sales since the crisis took hold. So this isn't going away, people. And as you can see, my computer has lingering updates, and it is interfering with my doing this video. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I'll probably do another later on, not 100% on that. But this is something you should be thinking about, because the days ahead are very, very bad. So until next time, kill the state, live free.